and take your phone and put it away, because we got big plans for this chapter. No, to do great on it. You don't have this page. This is just to set the stage. Learning goal, to learn how to calculate perimeter and area. Maybe you think you already know. Good. Aren't you happy? Nice, straightforward lesson here. And you'll know you're successful is if you can use the formulas to find area and perimeter. Okay, so someone's up. First perimeter and area, we better establish which one's which, just in case it's flowed out of our memory. And I'll try and use your words if I can. Dan, which one's perimeter?
Perimeter is the outside part of the shape.
The outside, yeah. I'm just going to add one word, okay? It's the distance around the outside part of the shape. Can anyone give an example in real life why you would care about the perimeter of something? Some situation where you might want to know the perimeter. Perimeter of a pool. Maybe you got to do the trim around the pool. So I'll put that as my example. Oh, Mr. Jesjorski's lights around the outside here. He needed to know the perimeter before he started to get the right number of lights. Good example. Yes? The one I always liked was fencing. You're fencing in your background. Shh. Shh. If you're fencing your backyard, you need to know the perimeter, how much around the outside. So I'll just put those underneath. You can choose which example you like. Fencing. Lights. I've already forgotten. What was the first one? Pool trim. I put pool trim there for a reason, because somebody might give pool as an example for area too. We're going to talk about, sometimes we want the area of a pool too. So who's got a word for area? Area's tougher. It's tougher to get the right words. Yeah, the space inside. Okay, I like that. The space inside. But if you're going to use space inside, I'm going to add something. A 2D shape. Because if it goes 3D, the space inside is called something else. Right. We'll get to that in just a second. But that, I put the 2D shape there because it's like, okay, we're talking about squares and triangles and circles, flat shapes. Yeah? Do you remember this okay? Yeah. So now all we got to do is get used to using the formulas again. Because some shapes are harder than others. Some shapes you can do in like grade 5 because they're so easy to find the perimeter and area. And other shapes are a little bit more difficult. So that's what we got to get to. We got to cover all those shapes again. Do you need more time here? You just let me know if I got to go back. So right into a problem, because I think you've seen this before. So jump right into a situation. James is doing some work in his backyard. His backyard has the dimensions in the diagram. Ooh, what does this little quotation mean? It's got one little slash like that. Feet. That means feet. Inches is 2, yeah. So like if it was like 17 with 2 of them, that's inches. It's not your fault. You live in Canada, not the States. In the States, you would know that because you just use it all the time. But in Canada, we don't use it quite as often. We do use it. We're supposed to be both. We're supposed to be way smarter than that in Canada. We can do, you want to do meters? Let's do meters. You want to do feet? We'll do feet. No problem. So, I feel like I'm not seeing part of this problem here on my screen. Am I crazy? Oh, yeah, the questions are on the next page, yes? I got to jump ahead to see it. He wants to fence the entire yard. How much fencing will we need? I encourage you to use the highlight method when doing this. Highlight each side as you add it. How long is that one? 45. So let's put that down on our calculation. Perimeter equals 45 feet plus, how long is this one? 33. Use the highlight method. Highlight the side you're adding, 33 feet. Then, math teachers love this one. I didn't give this distance here. Catherine's got it. What is it? Yeah, 45 minus 36. So in rectangular shapes like that, you just got to look around and go, okay, this would be 45 minus 36. That's 9 feet. So I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't trip you up too bad. Oops, where's my, that's the wrong side. So plus the 9 feet. Did I highlight it? I didn't highlight it. Oh, Mr. Todd, come on. Highlight the sides as you go so you don't forget one. What's left? 15 and 36. Maybe I can do those two at once, can I? Plus 15, plus 36. But there was one more to go that I didn't highlight. This one, how long's this one over here? How did you get 8? 33 minus 15, which isn't 8, but I know what you're thinking there. I think it's actually 18. Yeah? So then I got an 18 to add on there. And I'll go back in just a second, but let me get this total. Who's got their calculator ready to go to see if Mr. Todd's getting old? I'm going to try and do it in my head. 78, 87, 102, 138, 156. Anybody confirm that in their calculator? Anyone type it all in? Is it good? Yeah. He wants to fence the entire yard. How much fencing will he need? He will need 156 feet. You should really do a sentence here. Therefore, he will need 156 feet of fence. Has anyone done any actual building? Would he go by 156 feet? It's not going to work, is it? You're going to make mistakes. Something's going to get cut off the end. He's going to need a little more than that. But we'll ignore all that because we're not actually going to build the fence. But if you ever go to actually build something, you're going to need some extra wood because you're going to make a mistake. Or it's not going to be quite the right length and you're going to have to use another whole piece. There's lots of that goes into this. But that comes from experience of actually doing this work. Have I built a fence? Yes. You know what? Fencing I liked. Fencing I didn't mind. Drywall is painful. Tile, ugh. Tile's horrible. I don't know. I liked fencing. I did like fencing. I like electrical. I don't like plumbing all that much. With electricity, if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. With plumbing, if it doesn't work, things leak everywhere. So I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing. Are you ready for the? Do you need to go back? You need this picture some more? Yeah. Need this picture some more? No, we're good? Okay. Fence is sold in sections. It will cost $10.44 per 8-foot sections. This is true. When you go to buy fencing, often they sell it in big 8-foot sections that you buy. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll get back to that. Yeah, I ignored it, but I know about that box, yes. So my question is, how many 8-foot sections is he going to need? He needs 156 feet of fence. He can only buy them in 8-foot sections. How many sections does he need to buy? 19.5. That's not going to work, is it? But I'll get to it in just a second. Well, how did you do that? 156 divided by 8, and what'd you get? 19.5 sections. Now, I don't know if you've been to Lowe's to buy stuff, but if you go in and say, I'd like to buy 19.5 sections of fence, what are they going to say to you? They're going to say no. You can't buy 19.5 sections. How many you got to buy? You have to buy that 20th section. It's like buying bags of milk. If I said go buy 19.5 bags of milk, you'd be like, I can't do it. I got to buy the 20th bag. They don't sell them in half sections. So he will need 20 sections. Now let me get sidetracked for a minute. For any of you who have any actual experience in this, That might not even work out either. It depends on how long each side is, whether you can reuse the sides on other sides. This might get out of hand when you actually go to build it. We'll pretend it's going to work out okay, that we can break the sections up and use them in the next length. That's not always true. Depends where the fence posts are, whether this is all going to work out. Okay? So a little more complicated. If you ever want to build a fence, a little more complicated. You'll figure it out. You'll be all right. But you might need more than 20 sections. We'll pretend he needs 20 sections. So how much is that going to cost then? What's he going to have to do to find the cost of all this? He needs 20 sections. They're $10.44. There's no way they're $10.44. This is.
$408.
What'd you do?
10.44 times 20.
And what'd you get?
208.80.
208.80. But that's not all in Canada, is it? That's not plus tax. Now, let's be clear about this so you understand. The government has to charge tax. Has to. It's an expensive country to live in. Healthcare, roads, teachers, doctors, police, firemen. Now, are they charging too much? Could they do better? I don't know. I won't get in that discussion. I'm just telling you, it takes a lot of tax to make all that stuff happen. Every construction work you drive by, the government's paying for all of that stuff. Could they do better? Oh, probably. But I don't want you to think tax could ever go away. It's always been around in most countries. All right. So, does anyone know what the number is, though? What do you multiply by? To add the tax, multiply your final answer by 18? 13%. So, to get the final answer, what you multiply by is 1.13 because you want the whole price and 13% more. So that's what you multiply by to get your final price. So, with tax, multiply that by 1.13. Who's got their quackalator ready to go? I feel like it should be about $236. $235.94. Now, if you hurt your thumb building your fence, it will be extra because there's a thumb tax. That's a long way to go for that joke, let me tell you. Does this all seem kind of familiar? We're supposed to have beat you up with questions like this in other grades before. But we're just bringing it back together now to get ready for tougher stuff, okay? You know thumbtacks, you know the things you put in the wall? Thumbtacks, you know, little I just came around to be able to say thumbtacks on thumbs. It's not a great joke, man. I got to keep it appropriate in the class. So I'm kind of restricted on what jokes I can tell. Yeah? Do you need more time there? All right. James wants to make a putting green in his backyard. He needs to resod, lay new grass in his entire yard. Sod, grass. Why does it have to be area for sod? Because it covers the inside, yes? So we need the area now. Well, we're going to need someone clever here. I will first go to here. Yee. Does anyone remember how to find area of a rectangle? Length, width. Okay? Let me write that formula down. I don't think it's even on your formula page. It is? Area equals length times width. Simplest formula going. That's why you see area of rectangles in very early grades. I don't actually know which grade it is, but it's very early on you see area of rectangle. But you say, but yeah, T, this isn't a rectangle. It's a little L-shaped. Who knows what to do here so that rectangles can help? Break it up. And there's two choices. I could break horizontally right there or vertically right there. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. Isla, which one do you want to break it? Horizontally. So we're going to break it into those two rectangles. So actually, I don't know if this is confusing the way I'm going to write this or not. You tell me whether this is a good way to write it. Total area equals L1W1 plus L2W2. And all I'm saying there is I got two rectangles I got to do. I got to do length and width of the first rectangle and length and width of the second rectangle. So what's the first rectangle? $45 by 18? And what's the second rectangle? 9 by 15? I better double check that. 45, 18, 9, 15. 45, 18, 9, 15. Yeah, those are the two, the lengths and widths of each of those rectangles I've done there. Yeah. I backed up. She said, can you go back? So I backed up. Joseph, you got your calculator ready? Don't tell me. I'm going to try and do it in my head, okay? I don't know if it's right. Don't write it down yet until Joseph tells me if it's right. I'll just check it again, okay? 360, 810, 135, 945? Is it right? 945 feet? Feet? Squared. Little square feet. A foot by a foot. Here's a square foot. 1 foot. 1 foot. 1 foot squared. Will I take marks off if you don't write feet squared? I should. I really should. I really should. I really should. I refuse to answer. Now, if you've ever done a project like this, you'll know that going in and buying 945 square feet of sod might not be enough. You might have some waste on a corner, something you got to throw away. You know, so I don't know. You're probably buying 1,000 square feet to make this all work, because you probably got to throw some away when you're cutting pieces and making them fit and stuff like that. But let's worry about that when you actually go to do it. You'll find out. A little extra is needed. There's always a little bit of waste here. In my basement, I've got a whole bunch of leftover flooring from when we redid our floors, because we bought a little bit too much. We didn't end up using it. There's about 5 or 6 extra pieces. What's that?
My brother's closet.
Yeah. Probably somewhere in your house. If you go look around, probably somewhere there's some flooring sitting somewhere because they had to buy a little bit extra. Questions there? More time? Are we almost done? Sod is sold in 1 by 6 sections. Yeah. Each piece of sod, 1 by 6 equals 6 feet squared. So when I go to buy it, it's going to be 6 feet squared. How many of them do I need? Yeah. 945 divided by 6 equals 1, 5. Are you with me? Joseph. You could be wrong. 147.5? So you head over to the sod store. You say, could I get 157.5 hunks of sod? And they say no. No. Yeah, we're not giving you half pieces. You got to buy 158 pieces. And how much is each piece?
$1 or 99 cents.
99 cents. Joseph, what's the word? When you type in 158 times 0.99. 156.42. That's not so bad. There's no way sod is that cheap anymore. Sod's expensive. You're not getting it for 99 cents a chunk. Whoever typed this up 20 years ago, maybe it was that cheap back then, but not anymore. Yeah. But that is not all, friends. That is not all. What's left? Tax. Final price. This I can't do in my head. Multiplying that by 1.13. Let's see if Siri is willing to help us out. What is 156.42 times 1.13?
176.
75, yeah. Not 76 cents, 75 cents. How am I doing? Hey. Now, there are other shapes. This homework assumes you sort of remember how to do triangles and circles from the formula sheet. So in the homework, you'll take the formulas and you'll start with area of carpeting. You'll do rectangles and so on. And you'll go from there. Yeah? Okay? So you got homework, area, and perimeter. But we're going to do volume today too. So flip ahead till you get to the volume page. And we'll do some volume ones. Yeah. You got this? Do you see the area homework? Perimeter area homework? But we're also going to do volume today. Because that's supposed to be review. If it's not, if you need help, yeah. No. If you look now, after that it says area and perimeter practice. No, sorry, it says the other way around. Practice area and perimeter. And there's 5 beautiful questions for you to try. Yeah? Then we're also going to do volume today. Oh, wrong page. Volume. Yeah, we're going to do the volume too. Ready? Flip ahead till you see this picture. Yours is in a little box in the top left corner. Volume. The volume formulas have an extra dimension. It says volume equals length times width times height. So it's just 8 times 4 times 3. And again, your calculator, huge help here. You multiply 8 times 4 times 3, and you get 96. I did 8 times 4. What's 8 times 4? And then I multiplied that by 3, which was 96. So not, I don't know. Yeah, centimeters cubed now, because it's volume. Good catch. Thank you. If you're getting bored on the first day back from Christmas, that's okay, because we only got 4 shapes to go, and then we're done, except for your homework. Yeah? So the lesson's going to be over in 4 questions. Then I got to talk to people that missed the trig quiz, who are going to write tomorrow, and who didn't get the trig assignment because they were away on the Thursday before Christmas. We'll see if I remember who they are. Maybe you'll remember who they are. We'll do it. Oh, I can figure it out. I know 2 ways to figure it out. It's going to be okay. Are we okay here? Do you remember this? Volume's not bad. You take the formula, you plug it in. How about a cube? Cube's even easier. All the sides are the same. Yeah, volume equals 4 times 4 times 4. Whoops. Or you can just type in 4 cubed on your calculator. We've had some experience with exponents. Maybe we can just cube it. You can if you want. Either way, you get 64. Isla, what is it? 64? 64 what's? Camels? Wagon wheels? Meters? Cubed. Memory's coming back a little bit on this, hopefully. You're like, okay, this isn't bad. Write down the formula, plug in the numbers, write down the units. More time there? What do we got? 3 shapes left? Oh. Can be. Base times length times height over 2. If you look on your picture on your formula sheet, it will show you how to find which one's the base, which one's the length, and which one's the height. Anybody know why it's divided by 2? Why is this shape divided by 2? Yeah, because it's a triangle, and triangles are half of something. That's where that comes from. So what's the units here? Feet cubed. Folks, if you're dying here on the first day back from Christmas because you couldn't get to sleep last night, because you've been sleeping in until noon all the way, I know what it's like. I get it. Here's the thing to do. I was a teenager once, and I have 2 teenagers in my house, so I know what it's like. Was I a cool teenager? I don't think I was either. I'm not sure I was cool. I don't think I was really a nerd. I think I was sort of. Anyways, here's what to do if you want to fix your problem. Don't nap this afternoon. Stay up, go to bed on time, and tomorrow will be better. If you could take a long nap and then you stay up late again tonight, you'll be right back where you started. Definitely don't nap there. No. Because you'll be tired again tomorrow. What's this thing? Pi. What is that? 3 point. Yeah, that's true. We'll just use 3.14. If you know more decimal places, that's fine. How about the r? What's the radius of this thing? 4. Good. You are good at this. And the height? What's the height of this cylinder? 6. And your calculator does the rest. I'll punch it in this time to make sure I get it. But it certainly sounds like a lot of people are like, yeah, I think I can handle this. If not, no problem. You just ask me questions. I get 301.44 inches cubed. If you use the pi button in your calculator, your answer will be just a little bit different. Yeah? The actual decimals might be a little different. Yeah, if you use 3.14, you'll get what I get. If you use the pi button, your answer will be a little bit better, is what it is. A little better. But I'll mark both right. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Last one. Last one. What's pi? 3.14. So try typing that in. 4 times 3.14 times 5 cubed, and divide that all by 3. 523.3 centimeters cubed. Now, I don't know if everyone is going to be just great at that right out of the box, but I'm telling you, if you just try them out, things will go well. As usual, I'll make an answer sheet, and I'll share it on D2L, or I'll hang it up here. Oh, we can get rid of these ones. So you can check out your answers. All right, I'm going to spend my time doing attendance, uploading the video, coming to see people about trig quizzes and trig assignments, all that stuff. Okay? You spend your time on the